All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. True name for the Lord is Yahweh, and the true name for his only begotten Son is Yahushai. I want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And I wanted to go to this topic. I've been talking about it for a few months. The brother sent out this information like a day or two ago. And, here it is. You got to hear where this guy is saying this first decision, this court decision was made placed. So keep this.
Right after the burst of the sanitary outbreak, a federal eviction moratorium was put into place to avoid the massive displacement of American renters amid a ravaging health crisis. The order has prevented landlords from evicting millions of tenants that were behind on their rent payments. On the other hand, all the rental debt accumulated since then didn't go away, and tenants are expected to pay for it at some point. Conversely, small landlords were sent to the brink of financial ruin after the measure was implemented. Many filed lawsuits against the moratorium, alleging it wasn't legal, while also questioning CDC's authority to issue such a decree. Housing experts started to sound red alerts for a massive homelessness crisis in case the order expired or was removed, which prompted the government to extend the moratorium twice. However, last week, a federal judge in the Eastern District of Texas named John Campbell Barker finally heard landlords pleading, and now it's official. The moratorium was ruled unconstitutional, which means a tragic eviction tsunami is about to start.
And that's what it really is. So pretty soon here in America, the sense of desperation in the land is going to increase to a fever pitch, and what people thought was going to be for the benefit is no longer going to sustain them, man. Because through this whole thing, people thought, and they just believed that, they thought and believed that, the government's not going to let this happen. There's a moratorium and I can't get evicted. But what did you think that was going to last forever? It says, this is Isaiah 30:1. It says, woe to the rebellious children. And that's what our people have been. Very rebellious. The Lord has put men out there on the highways and byways making videos daily now. It used to be 2 videos a week. Then the Lord cooked up the spirit and said 3 videos. And the Lord cooked it up and said, 1 video a day. Now here it is. You have men out here sincerely doing this thing. Not for any money. Not for any clout. Just all through the sincerity of the heart. To do what the Lord commanded, giving you the warning, but our people are still rebellious. The scriptures talk about they come to you as the people come, but they will not do what you say. Woe to the rebellious children, say Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And this is exactly what has happened. Our people in the midst of all this, they've been sat down. They've been watching the videos. They've been watching the videos. I've been getting more views on my videos than ever. And it's weird to me. I used to be lucky to get 1 or 2 views on a video. And some of these views we're getting is just Esau or scoffers, but at the end of the day, the word and the warning is going out. So what? At the same time, our people chose to just brush it off. All these people in the world chose to just brush it off. They'll get back to it. 2020 was a bad year. 2021 is going to be my year. That point says that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked at my mouth. And that's the problem. Our people have looked and hoped in America so much, but you have not asked at the Lord's mouth of what to do. You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans leaping for joy just because Biden got in. And watch what he's going to do, man. He's not going to do not a dang thing to help you. Believe you me, man, these Edomites are still the same as they ever were. You know, the brother put out a video, article where it said Biden is still the same old president. Meaning it's going to be the same things that happened before. Let me see if I can find an article. And you guys can take your time, you know, put it on Google, look up the article for yourself, and you'll see. Let me see where the brother put it. Where he put it. All right, you can go on RT, right? The name of the article is "This is Who They Are." Biden's Syria strike is a stark reminder of American empire that's back to its old tricks. You see? So this is who it is. It's American empire back to its old tricks because nothing's changed. Nothing has changed, man. So Jake thought it was going to be a whole different devil that was going to be there for the benefits, but the scriptures tell you, O Jerusalem, who should go about to bemoan you. So back in Isaiah 30:2, it says that walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked of my mount, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. You know? It says, verse 3, it says, therefore the strength of Pharaoh, which is what? When you go to Revelation, it tells you that there's a place called spiritually Sodom in Egypt. So there's a place that carries all the same characteristics and the traits of Egypt and Sodom. And what is that? America. So who's running America? Just like there was somebody running Egypt, it was the Pharaoh who's running America, right? Supposed to be the president, correct? So that's your Pharaoh. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And that's what it's going to bring. The trust in America is going to be the confusion of you people. You know, the scriptures talk about there's going to be perplexity. Let me get that. This is Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars, and upon earth distress of nations with perpetually the sea and the waves roaring. So let's look at that word for perplexity. I already got it pulled up right here. It says perplexity, inability to deal with or understand something complicated or unconscionable. Now that federal judge was in Texas, right? So here it is. You just had Texas get hit by those what do you call it? That record cold, right? Pipes freezing in the buildings and all that. People weren't able to go to work those whole time. You don't know how many of those businesses can actually bounce back. And now here it is. You're gonna have evictions happening over there. You know, it's gonna get real. It says an entangled state. Let's see if there's more on this. Let's see what the synonyms are for perplexity. And well, let's get the etymology. I want to get the etymology. So that word for perplexity in the etymology is mid-14th century. Perplexity, it says to be bewilderment, doubt, uncertain, confusion, perplexity. It says confusion involved, interwoven, entangled, to twine, something that causes perplexity and intricate or involved state of confusion. So that's what people are going to be. They're going to be in a full-on state of confusion. Bewilderment is like if you're beat down, man. So that's what the state the people are going to be in, man. There's going to be a great perplexity over all the people. Now, the prophecy, when you go into the scriptures, it's prophesied that many houses. Let me get it. Yeah, Isaiah 5 and 9. It says I said it 8. It says, "Woe to them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place." So these apartment buildings and all these housing projects where it'll be, even if you have your own single home, but it's all right next to a neighbor's and all that. This is not how things are supposed to be set up. It says that they may be placed alone in the earth, and this is what Esau's done. Here it is. You have one man owns most of the farmland in America. And that makes no sense. And that one man, you can look it up, is Apple Gates. Who is accredited with designing Apple, right? That's the guy who owns most of the farmland in America, right? It says verse 9, "In my ears he said, say Yahweh hosts of a truth, many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair." Now many houses are torn up right now, right? And it's going to only increase, because when people get desperate, these they're going to run into each other's houses, just like the scriptures say, even great and fair without inhabitant. So even great and fair. So a lot of those people that think they have a nice home, they done what they could with it and make it homey. Hey, those houses are going to be dwelling desolate, because a lot of people are going to get kicked out and evicted. Foreclosures are going to be skyrocketing. And not only that, it tells you in the book of Second Ezra, Second Ezra 16, and I'll start 70. It says, "For there should be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh." So there's going to be a time, even against what some men would try to sit here and delude you of to keep you from keeping that in mind. But there's going to be a time where there's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, and they're going to roll on the believers of the Most High. And really, these people don't have a spiritual bone in their body. The Edomites, the so-called white man, and the other nations, they don't have a spiritual bone in their body like that. So when they look at when they look at the grand scheme of things, they're just going to start going at you, Jake, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because ultimately the scriptures tell you they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So Jake believes in the Most High, but it's not based on the scriptures, man. So they know who to come at, man. They just know who to come at. It says, "A great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh." You see? So they're going to go 10 times harder on you, Jake, man. It says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of the houses." And there's your evictions right there, man. They're going to cast people out of their houses, man. And not only that, you just had in Portland not too long ago, a bunch of people protect their neighbors from being evicted. Eviction blockade protests at Red House in North Portland reaches third night. You see, and that was 2 months ago, but there's even stuff that's been happening more recently. And this stuff has been happening more and more recently. Let me see if I can get relevant sort by creating and uploading. Look, 3 weeks ago, Portland Red House eviction, right? Portland police trying to serve eviction get violently attacked by leftists. You see? And it's not leftists, it's just a bunch of people seeing that it's bullshit, that you're kicking people out of their homes, and it's going to happen to a very large amount of people. So what is going to happen when a large amount of people start getting evicted? They're going to band together, and they're going to come at the ones that are trying to evict people, which is what? Your police, your government, Your banks. Here it is. They cooked up a situation where you're going to be cast out on the street, and they get to sit fat, and they just rebuy the property for pennies on the dimes, even though you've already paid for all of it. This is how the devil gets down. This is how the so-called white man gets down. So this is the time we're in. This is why you have to take it very serious, man. This is why it tells you, come out of here, hurt my people. All the elements shall be burnt up with fire, because this stuff isn't going to last. When you go in the scriptures, America, everything here is going to be burnt up. So there's no reason for you to put all your all into this place, thinking that it's going to benefit you. I'm gonna end it on this one. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember not thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while thy evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." So before hell kicks off, that's when you're supposed to remember Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's when you go into the word. Remember is back. Remember, it's basically putting it into mind. We'll get that in etymology, since I spoke about it. Let's get it greater understanding. So that word remember, mid 14th century, remembering, keep something in someone in mind, retain in the memory. Remember, recall, bring to mind. Recall to mind, remember, be mindful of. So right now is when you're supposed to call to mind and be mindful of the Most High before stuff kicks off. It says, meaning, recall to mind, since 14th century, sense of, to mention, bring back the memory of. You see, it says right here. It says bring back the memory of. So you read this again. It says, bring back the memory of thy Creator in the days of your youth. Basically, before stuff kicks off, you're supposed to remember what the Lord said to do and fulfill it. It says, while the sun or the moon or the light or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Your keepers are healthy, you're wealthy, you're bankers. Right now the economic system is uncertain. There's only a key number of people that are actually going to prosper in this term, and you have to be on the inside circle for that. And majority of the people aren't. There's a show called the 3%, called 3% on Netflix. You can watch. That's a pretty good one, where only 3% of the population gets to live good, while the rest of the world is in poverty. This is Esau's system that he's trying to set up. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look at the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the street, when the sound of the grinding is low. The sound of the grinding, the doors being shut in the street, that's your business closing. That's your jobs being taken away. Right? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. Rising up at the voice of the bird is basically trying to be the early bird getting the worm, trying to get out there and find work. The fact that you have to rise up before the sun comes to get work shows you that there's nothing out there. It says, and the daughters of music are being brought low. That's why you're having all these OnlyFans accounts pop up, because people have no other way to make money. Musicians make their money through what? Concerts, venues, outings, club events. They're not making no money off of CDs. This ain't the early 80s. As soon as LimeWire came on the scene, people started losing money in the music industry. It says, verse 5, it says, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way. It says, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden. A grasshopper right there, really talking about locusts. Here it is. I just saw yesterday that they're sitting there talking about the next generation of locusts that are going to hit off over there in Kenya. You know, they're expected to put 180 million people in severe starvation and hunger and famine. It says, read on. It says, in desire shall fail, and men go to his long home, and mourners go about the streets. Basically, meaning people are going to be destitute. And so you need to come back to the Lord quick. The scriptures tell you the beginning of wisdom. Let me get it. Psalms 111 and 10. It says, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments, and his praise endureth forever. So see, this is what wisdom is. Fear is what? Keeping the commandments. If you love the Most High, you're going to keep his commandments. So the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, meaning you went into the scriptures and you saw where you're not supposed to go off, and you avoid those things by all costs because you understand the judgment. But you have to get into the word first. It says, a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. So that's how you come to the Lord, is to do his commandments. The scriptures tell you the law of the Most High was our schoolmaster, bringing us unto Yahweh Shai. So you have to get into this. So Lord willing, this is all edifying. I'm going to say, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakah Shalom.